So if you train with resistance bands, switching from weights, will you lose strength and lose muscle size? Now, if you would have asked me that question 5 years ago, I would have said probably. So what changed in between now and then? Well, that was me deciding to train with resistance bands only for nearly 4.5 years. Didn't start off that way. It started as a year-long experiment just to see what would happen, because when I did this, there was no data on it. There were no clinical studies long-term that would show what would happen. And there wasn't anyone that I knew of that I had a level of respect for that took their weight training serious, that went over and did resistance bands only. So I thought, you know what? I'll try it. Let me see what happens. So 1 year turned into 4.5 years just because I enjoyed it. I liked the freedom that I had, being able to train anywhere, etc. Felt good on my joints. So I just kept doing it. Then about a year ago, I was doing a video in a gym. It was a buddy of mine has a gym. And we went in there and we were comparing exercise in the gym with free weights to the resistance band equivalent. And while we were in there, there was a bench in there with a bar. And I thought, you know what? It's been almost 4.5 years. I wonder what it feels like. So stacked 225 on the bar, dropped under there, thinking, you know what? I haven't done this in a really long time. And even though I've been training hard with bands, still haven't been doing bench press. So probably going to be a struggle.
How'd it feel?
Feels just like it used to.
To my surprise, repped it out, no problem. Felt great. So, am I telling you that resistance bands are the exact same as weights? No, I'm not. They feel totally different, just like weights feel different than machines do. But if you were to ask me why I was able to maintain both muscle size and strength for 4.5 years, I would tell you that it probably just comes down to the basics of building muscle and strength, which is necessary stimulus. So resistance bands feel slightly different than weights do, different curve with your resistance. But with that being said, if you apply the right amount of intensity to your workouts and you pick resistance levels that are challenging you, then the rules of progressive overload still apply the same to bands as they do with weights. Look, your body doesn't know the difference between tension with bands versus tension with weights versus tension with machines. The key is you've got to go in there and you got to push yourself the same way. So if you want to maintain the same level of strength or muscle size that you were achieving with weights, then you need to take that same level of intensity and apply it to your band training. Remember, bands, they're just a tool. Just like dumbbells are a tool, a barbell's a tool, and a machine's a tool. So it's not about the tool that you're using, it's about how you use it. So with that being said, you could go in there, totally sandbag your workouts with resistance bands, treat them like a joke, and they're gonna be a joke. You go in there, you train hard with them, you can get great results, you can maintain strength, and you can maintain muscle size. Matter of fact, you can also build strength and build muscle size using resistance bands. And that was part of my goal, going back to that original experiment. I felt in theory you could do it, but I wanted to put it to the test. Like I said, 4.5 years of it, I think I proved it. So that's the big takeaway. Just make sure you go in there, train with the right amount of intensity, pick resistance levels that are challenging, and create adequate stimulus, and you can build muscle size and strength.